Hello, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Dead by Daylight video. Today, we're going to be doing a clown breakdown. That's right. Especially with this season, you can see I'm already starting to get my my clown outfit coming up, and I absolutely love the clown outfit. I love this elephant cosmetic that they have for it. I think it looks absolutely hilarious, downright dumb, and it's a perfect fit for a killer in this game. But without further ado, let's get into his attributes. All right, so he's got 3 teachable perks. He has Bamboozle, Chlorophobia, and Pop Goes a Weasel. Bamboozle allows me to vault the window 5% faster, and then also it will block that vault location for 8 seconds. Only one window can be blocked at one time, but it is really good for as far as being able to cut off a loop, especially a permanent loop. Chlorophobia, your presence alone instills great fear. Survivors within the terror radius have a 30% penalty to healing progress speed. This one is good when it's combined with something else, maybe like Sloppy Butcher or Thanatophobia. Something to help to slow down the healing speeds to keep the survivors focused on something else rather than completing generators. However, if they do realize that you have it, they might instead opt for just working on the generators and not really focusing on healing, and therefore it kind of makes it pointless, but still overall a good perk. Last but not least, Pop Goes a Weasel. A deep bond with the entity unlocks a great strength. After hooking a survivor, for the next generator you break will instantly regress by 25% of its total progress. Normal generator regression applies after the damage is done, and it's active for 40 seconds after a survivor is hooked. This is actually a really great perk, especially after they nerfed Ruin. This will allow you, when you hook a survivor, when you hit the gen, it will regress it back further. It will also showcase the sparks that form on the generator. You're going to see that later on in the video as well. It does look different than just normally kicking the generator. 4.6 max base speed. As you can see, he's a little bit faster than the Huntress, and his base terror radius is 32 meters. The Huntress, I believe it was at 20, so almost double the amount of distance. His power is the Afterpiece Tonic. You can basically, these are bottles that are going to perform different effects on the survivors if they are hit by it. These aren't meant to be accurate as the hatchet throws, but they're meant to cover a large area to put a status effect or a blinding effect on the survivors to make them hitting them much easier. And then he has his M1 ability as well to be able to knock down survivors. But without further ado, let's get into the gameplay. All right, the first thing we're going to talk about with the clown is his secondary ability with his bottles. Now, his bottles are a crucial aspect to the clown's gameplay. As you'll see here, I use the bottles to slow down the survivors around the looping points. You need to be able to do this because it blinds the survivors, it slows down the survivors, and it gives you that opportunity to make mind game plays as well as be able to close a gap to be able to knock down a survivor, especially around a loop. Special note on the bottles themselves. If you notice, I'm holding the bottles. The clown actually gives you a visual cue when the bottle is fully charged and you get the maximum amount of distance from your bottles. You'll see that the bottle actually shimmers. I'm going to cut to a video showing the difference between just throwing a bottle and actually holding down the charge and then being able to throw it, so that way you guys can see visually how much further the bottle travels if you hold it down. All right, coming in for first for the perks showcase is going to be Bamboozle. Now, Bamboozle is super great as far as being able to cut off a loop mid-chase. Now, this is the Killer Shack with the God Pallet up, so this is one of the safest places on any map. But as you can see here with Bamboozle, I'm actually going to force the survivor to have to drop the God Pallet and move the chase elsewhere because I used Bamboozle. All right, the next perk that we're going to see here is Pop Goes the Weasel. Now, again, this perk gets activated after you've hooked a survivor. But as you can see here, I hooked a survivor and the little icon for Pop Goes the Weasel starts to activate. This lets me know that I've got 40 seconds in order to be able to kick a generator. Now, when I do go up and I kick this generator, you'll see that the embers that come out from it are going to be orange rather than yellow. And that indicates that I have successfully hit it with Pop Goes the Weasel. It has regressed by 25%. And then is also going through its normal regression. This perk can only be used after Hex Ruin has been eliminated, now with the new updates to Hex Ruin, but that might change in the future. I don't know. All right, for tips and tricks, as you will see here, I'm using the technique of just throwing rapid fire potions to the ground at the survivor's feet in order to be able to just completely blind them. This works really well against runners that are very familiar with the maps because this essentially blinds them. So it makes it much, much easier in order to be able to down them because they can't see where they're going. Another trick or tip as well is that as soon as you get done downing the survivor, before picking them back up, it's good practice to refill your bottles. If you're a huntress, you refill your hatchets. If you're clown, you refill your bottles. The reason for this is Survive with Friends might like to come along, try to block you from being able to put the survivor up on the hook. The survivor might be able to wiggle off. You might be able to hook a survivor and continue on with the chase really, really quickly. But in either case, it is essential to have those potions to not be slowed down. You already have the survivor downed. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. So take that extra second, refill your bottles, and then move forward. Another advantage of the potion bottles is, as you can see here, I'm actually able to mind game the survivor around this dropped pallet that normally I would have to break. By blinding them, they have no idea where I'm at, so you can wait a few seconds, the survivor will become paranoid, and then most likely will jump over the down pallet and get you the easy down. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, comment, like, and subscribe. It definitely helps out the channel. Next week, we're going to be tackling on the hag, and then the trapper. I'm kind of going with a theme. The first two were throwable killers. The next two are trappable killers. And then we'll move on from there. But guys, until next time, I'll see you around. Bye.